Here are 7 paranormal phenomena that seem to be universal. Number 1. The Shadow People. The Shadow People are mysterious dark humanoid figures that vanish the moment you try to look at them directly. Unlike ghosts and spirits, shadow people are defined by their very lack of detail. They are often described as featureless silhouettes, often appearing as tall, slender figures, sometimes with hats or coats, but never with distinct features. Encounters with shadow people often include catching a fleeting glimpse of dark entities, or feeling as though you're being watched when you're alone. You turn to look, only to spot a dark phantom that instantly vanishes. There are many theories that try to explain this universal phenomenon. Some believe that shadow people might be extra-dimensional beings, or that they are the astral body of real people traveling outside their physical form. These theories sound intriguing. However, shadow people are likely just your brain trying to make sense of unclear patterns or shapes. Number 2. The Doppelgänger. The doppelganger is a ghostly double or counterpart of a living person. According to legend, wherever a doppelganger appears, it brings one of two things: illness or death. Stories about look-alike doubles are shared across cultures. For some, it's an omen of misfortune to come. For others, it's a spirit from another dimension trying to take your place in this reality. The spooky thing is that there are real accounts of people falling ill or even dying soon after encountering their doppelganger. One famous example is the case of the English poet Percy Shelley, who told his friends he had seen his own double while walking in Italy. A few days later, he drowned in a storm. From a scientific perspective, doppelganger encounters are often explained as being caused by mental disorders or brain tumors that affect cognitive functions and lead to vivid illusions where people see a replica of themselves. This might also explain the sudden illness or death rumored to follow such sightings. However, others have different opinions. Some believe that these look-alike doubles are alternate versions of ourselves, perhaps from a different universe. Others believe they are spirits, demons, or evil beings that mimic you so they can replace you and become you. Number 3. The Night Demon. In folklore, the night demon is often the term used to explain sleep paralysis, a state where you're awake but unable to move or speak. During this terrifying experience, people often report feeling a demonic presence or seeing a dark shadowy figure sitting on their chest, watching them, or in some cases, trying to harm them. Cultures around the globe have different names and stories for this entity, but the overall experience and description are almost the same. From a medical point of view, this phenomenon is actually caused by a disturbance in the sleep cycle. This disturbance creates an overlap between sleeping and waking consciousness, thus causing people to hallucinate. Number 4. Will-o'-the-wisp. Will-o'-the-wisp is a mysterious light that appears on marshes, swamps, burial grounds, and even deserts. It is often described as a flickering ball of fire that floats above the surface and seems as if it's dancing. Following one is said to bring a tragic ending, like madness, drowning, or never being found again. These strange lights have been reported all over the globe, with each culture having its own names and stories. But despite the different variations, these lights are often believed to be either the spirits of the dead or some kind of a fairy or demon. So, what's up with these lights and what exactly are they? The most accepted theory is that these ghost lights are caused by natural gases rising from decaying plants. When these gases come into contact with air, they can ignite rapidly, creating a flickering, faint ball of fire. However, this fireball is unstable and can easily move with the wind, making it seem as if it's dancing or running away from you. Eventually, it runs out of fuel and vanishes. Number 5. Demonic possession. Demonic possession is by far one of the most common paranormal activities, often including a range of disturbing events and symptoms, like a dramatic change in voice, speaking in unknown languages, behavior and personality shifts, unexplained marks or injuries, unnatural strength and agility, and unusual body movements. Strangely enough, each culture or religion uses different, often contradictory methods to cast away the same supposed demon. And for these methods to be effective, the victim's belief must align with the practice being used. So obviously there's something other than a demon that causes such symptoms. And here comes the scientific explanation. What seems like demonic possession can actually be caused by various psychological and neurological disorders. These can range from conditions like schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, certain types of epilepsy, or even rare neurological conditions such as foreign accent syndrome, which can alter a person's speech patterns and may explain cases where individuals appear to be speaking a foreign language without prior knowledge. Demonic possession also extends to animals, especially dogs, cats, owls, and snakes. Even dolls are included in this phenomenon, with a common paranormal belief found across cultures suggesting that spirits can hunt or get trapped inside a doll. Number 6. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. The Vanishing Hitchhiker is one of the most widespread urban legends around the globe. It often involves a mysterious passenger who disappears without a trace from a moving vehicle. The core narrative usually goes like this. A driver picks up a lone hitchhiker only for the passenger to mysteriously vanish midway through the journey or shortly after reaching the destination. In some versions, the hitchhiker delivers a prophecy about a future event or reveals unsettling information about the past before disappearing without a trace. The driver later discovers that the hitchhiker had died years ago, often in a tragic accident at that very location. Not all vanishing hitchhiker legends involve ghosts or phantoms. In some variations, this mysterious figure is a shape-shifting creature, like a demon or spirit, and is often described as having animal features, like hooves or horns, for example. Number 7. Ghosts. The idea of someone coming back from the dead as a ghost is a universal belief that has existed since ancient times. While the nature of a ghost, or why it became one, varies based on local folklore and religious beliefs, the fundamental idea that a deceased person, or sometimes animal, hunts or appears to the living exists nearly across all cultures. In many myths and legends, someone may return from the dead due to unfinished business, revenge, regret, or because they could not find their way to the afterlife. So what are the different types of ghosts, and why do people see ghosts? Well, we will leave that for another video. Thanks for watching, and as usual, see you next time.